Welcome back to Fitted Thoughts.
Welcome back.
My boy Jay and me, Zay.
Zay, what's going on, Zay?
Yo, so let me tell you about the situation.
Go ahead. Talk your shit.
So, my regular routine is I leave the house, I jump in the car, I stop at the bodega, I get a cup of coffee, jump back in the car, head out to work. So this particular day, same thing. Leave the house, jump in the car. I get to the bodega, and I'm walking towards the door. So I see a brother walking towards me. So I do the polite thing, and I hold the door open.
Okay.
The brother walks up. I go ahead. He goes, nah, you go ahead. I said, nah, you go ahead. He goes, nah, don't start that bullshit. You only hold doors for women. I looked at him and I said, really? I just walked in. And I was really annoyed by it. I was just really, really annoyed by the fact that still today, people can't accept an act of kindness.
So it wasn't even the fact that you guys were going back and forth on who was going to walk in first. It was the fact that he felt that you should only have the door open only for females.
Yes.
That is odd.
Isn't that odd?
Yeah. I thought he was upset because you guys were going back and forth. I could see how someone could get frustrated early in the morning about that. But if he said that you should only open the door,
He was like, I don't have time for the bullshit this morning. You only hold doors open for females. I was like,
nah.
Really?
Like it's always the polite thing to do to hold the door open. Like if you're the first one there and you see somebody coming.
Yeah, you hold the door open, let the individual pass. You know what I mean? Thank you, no problem. And keep it moving.
That's interesting.
And I understand now why is it that there are a lot of people who don't do things like that. Like I'm a huge advocate of acts of kindness.
Of course.
You know what I mean? Of buying an individual a cup of coffee that's behind me just to buy it.
Being polite,
doesn't matter who it is.
Having manners, being
polite. You know what I mean? Having manners, being polite. Good morning, good afternoon. How are you? It's just something that's ingrained in me just because of my upbringing, right? Because it's the first thing that your parents, or at least my mom drilled into me. Good morning, good afternoon, hello, how are you?
Yeah.
Yes, yes, thank you. No, no, thank you. Having manners, being polite. My mom was the one that showed me about, doing acts of kindness. How? I would walk down the street. My mom would see a bum. The guy would say, I'm hungry. Could you give me some money for food? And my mom would be like, you want food?
Sure, buy him.
He goes, yeah. Okay, come on. I'm going to buy you some food. I'm not going to give you any money, but my mom would buy this individual food. And then after she sees him eat the food, she might give him a couple of dollars. Go ahead for later so you can buy yourself something for later. My mom has always done that. That's where I get it, it from. She was the one that taught me to do stuff like that. And I've gotten the occasion of, I'm sitting on a Dunkin' Donuts line and I tell the individual, just put his coffee, whatever he's getting on my bill, and the individual getting really nasty with me.
For real? That you were gonna pay? Or?
Yeah.
They got upset because you were gonna pay?
Yeah, they got upset. You know why? Because I come to understand, somebody mentioned to me something the other day, and they were like, well, you do that for some individuals and they feel like there's a motive behind it. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, like you just walk in and they're behind you. And you're like, I'll get his car, or like you guys say, "Hey, how you guys doing?" You know what I'm saying?
Well, you know what I usually do is I go up to the counter, I order my coffee. When I go to pay, I tell the individual, whatever the other person's gonna order, I'm gonna pay for it. Just put it on my card.
I could see why they would get upset. Like,
Why would they get upset? Why would you get upset if somebody
not get
doing-
upset, but like I would just find it weird. Like if you came in and we saw each other, we said you held the door open, you said, "Oh, good morning,"
Nah.
and then you're like, "Hey, you know what?"
See, that's an act of kindness, brother. And everybody asks me the same time, the same thing always. They're
I don't
"Well,
know.
Why did you do that? Why did you buy the coffee?
Because what
And-
if there's a whole line? Are you gonna buy coffee for everyone else?
No,
That's
it's
not being
just the
kind.
one person. No, what are you talking about? That's
Like
not being
if
kind.
like if there's more people on the line, you just gonna buy coffee for everyone?
No, I do it for the person that's behind me.
Yeah, but what if there's someone behind him?
There are people behind him. I'm just doing it for that one person. I'm not
But
doing
why?
it for
But
the whole-
why? You know what I'm saying?
Because
Like, I feel there has to be an interaction.
no, there has to be no interaction. It's an act of kindness, brother.
It is an act of kindness, but
You don't have to have no inter. Listen, the whole purpose of doing it is, for me, is maybe, and it's happened to me, where I do something like that for the individual, and they're so taken back by it and appreciative by it that they do it for somebody else. And if you get plenty of people to do that over and over and over and over again, then this place would be a different place. This world would be a different place. Completely. I don't do it for just Spanish people. I don't do it for just black people. I don't just do it for white people. I do it for anybody. For anybody. One day I bought a cup of coffee and a bagel and a breakfast sandwich for an MTA bus driver. I and after the cashier said, "Oh, the gentleman already paid for you," he came over to me, shook my hand, and said, "Thank you so much. I really, really needed that. I really appreciated that. I was having a really bad day. I appreciate it. Thank you so much."
yeah,
I said, "Listen, have a blessed day, and all I ask is that you pay it forward, so that you do it for somebody else."
when you decided to pay for the bus driver, you already knew he was a bus driver, correct?
Yeah, he was just a butt drop, but he was behind me.
I don't know, cause like let's say that same situation, and you just see a random guy who just seems frustrated or whatever. He's angry. Are you gonna say to the cashier like, "Hey, I'm gonna pay for whatever he's
I
getting"?
do it to anybody who's behind me, bro.
Anyone who's behind you?
I don't do it all the time. I don't do it like every single day, every time I'm at the store.
I was about to say, nigga, I'm
But
about to
I do
follow
it at
you.
least. I do it at least once or twice a week.
Okay.
The other day, I was at a bodega. I was getting a butter roll and a coffee. There was a young lady there with her mom. She got two things, like a cake and this other thing. And they were talking about whether she was gonna put it on her EBT card or this, that, and the third. And I said, you know what? I'm gonna pay for it. He charged me for it, and I said, listen, I paid for it already. Have a nice day. And she was like, thank you so much. I can't believe it. Thank you so much. I was like, all I ask is that you pay it forward. Do it for somebody else.
Okay.
I don't know, but for me, somebody told me, oh, well, do you think it's being selfish you doing that? I said, what do you mean? Well, is it the reason why you're doing it is because you get off on like feeling good, like it make you feel good, like sometimes it's like something helping your self-esteem. And I was like, no.
Just being
It
kind.
makes me feel good to see the individual, smile. And like I said, I've done it in certain situations where the individual really needed something for like that to happen for them. I was in a bakery one time, and this older white woman was behind me, and she had never been to the bakery before. I had been there a couple of times, And she was like, "Oh, I've never been here before. I was wondering what was good." I said, "This is delicious. I love those. They're my favorite. I'm about to order 2 of them." She goes, "Oh, maybe I'll get one of those." I said, "You know what?" I said, "Do me a favor, wrap 2 of those up. Those are for me, and take one and put it in a box and give it to her. I want her to try it, and I'm paying for it." She's like, "Are you serious?" I said, "Yeah." She goes, "Why are you gonna do that?" I said, "Because I want you to try it." She was like, "I can't believe you're doing that." I was like, "Why?" She goes, "Oh, well, you don't stuff like that doesn't happen too often." I said it should happen more often.
So did you find out why the individual got upset? Like when you paid for him?
No, because once again, it's another individual who's not used to people doing nice things. And we're kind of programmed like that, aren't we? Yeah, we are programmed for random people not to accept things from random people. We are programmed because we're always on the defensive. We always think that somebody's trying to get at us to some point, you know, at one point or another, or to a certain extent. Right? We're untrustworthy, and I understand it. Right? But I'm not asking anything of you. I'm actually trying to do something nice.
Hey, I don't want this guy paying for my coffee.
I was when first started talking to Yao, and she was working at the pizza shop across the street from where I worked,
You bought her pizza?
and I went there. It was at night. I went there to have dinner, so I ordered my stuff, and there was a young lady next to me, student. She goes to Pace University. She ordered 2 plates of food. Cost me like $40, right?
You regret it?
I paid for it. I didn't say anything to her. Came back to I came and sat at the table and started eating. When she went to pay, Yao told her, "Oh no, he paid for your food already." She goes, "What?" I could hear her. She goes, "No, he paid for your food already." So she walked over to me and she goes, "Did you pay for my food?" I said, "Yeah." She goes, "Why'd you do that?" I said, "Because I wanted to do something nice for somebody." She goes, "Are you serious?" I go, "Yeah." She goes, "I really needed it. This is the only money I have, and I was buying this food so it'll last me for the rest of the week." I said, "Right on time, right?" She goes, "Yep." I said, "Enjoy your food and have a nice night." She was
Right.
crying.
So let me ask you this: when you do these kind acts for people, when they don't acknowledge it or say thank you,
I've never had anybody not say thank you.
or like the individuals who get upset at you, does that make you feel a type of way?
No, because I understand that we are we have been programmed not to accept nice things. We have been programmed not to be nice to each other.
So it doesn't bother you. You don't say to yourself
It
like,
it,
"Oh,
bo- it bothers
what an
me like it bothered me like the
ungrateful-"
guy when I opened up the door. It bothered me, right? Because he just went there, and I was like, "Wow, really?" Um, but I have to remind myself that not everybody's open. Not everybody knows how to be treated nice. You know?
How do you feel? Like, let's say you open the door for somebody and they don't say thank you, or let's say they hold the door for you, and before you can even say thank you, they're like, "You welcome," with attitude.
That's happened to me. And I usually say, "You didn't even give me a chance. Thank you."
Do you think you consider that acts of kindness?
Yeah, I would still think it was an act of kindness. But sometimes, you know, I don't think I've ever had anybody say to me, "You're welcome," because I always say thank you. As I'm coming through the door, I'm saying thank you, right? So I've never had anybody say that to me. I've done that to somebody else though.
Like you welcome.
Like I've opened up the door for an individual. The person walks through and I go, "You're welcome," and then picture, "Oh, I'm sorry. Thank you, thank you."
Why do you say that?
That's my training, though. That's once again, that's etiquette. You know what I mean? That's
Why not just open the door and if she says thank you, cool. If she doesn't,
nah. That's just that's my programming. If somebody opens the door for you, you say thank you. If you're walking through the door, you say you're welcome. That's a trigger from how I was taught as a kid. You know what I mean?
but is that really an act of kindness if you're expecting, something, even if
Nah,
it's
it's
just
just
a
because
thank
I
you?
expect it because it's my training.
Okay.
It's because of the way I was raised. You know what I mean? I've had situations where I've done it for actually very attractive women,
Mm-hmm.
and they're in their back of their mind. I know they're thinking, "Oh, he's gonna ask me for my number, or he's gonna fucking harass me now." You know what I mean? Kind of
Mm-hmm.
deal. And I don't say anything to them. Not one thing.
Of course not.
That most of the time they'll approach me and they go, "Why did you do that?" I said, "Because I just want to do something nice for somebody." All I ask is you. I say this all the time. All I ask is that you pay it forward. Do it
All
for
I
somebody else.
ask is that you do it for someone.
Stupid. You know.
All right.
So yeah, but yeah, I think we're very much programmed not to be nice to each other. I mean, look the way the world is right now, and how we hurt each other every single day, without any remorse, without any, it's almost like we don't have a conscience on how like all these horrendous acts of violence that are going on in our communities, and it's like nothing. And the way, and now it's you can see the way it goes down because everything is filmed, right? So you see the video on how heartless these individuals are killing each other, just like if they were dogs out in the street. Crazy.
Like a video game.
Yeah, like for real.
For
You know, what is this Halo? What I like, you know what I mean?
GTA. That's what it is.
Crazy. So
That's interesting. That was an interesting story. I've done acts of kindness as well. You're not the only one. There was this one time. This is the latest one I remember. I was at the airport, and this woman had she was buying alcohol to take back to the United States from the Dominican Republic. And as we were boarding the plane, her the alcohol that she had, I guess, it spilled or broke, whatever the case may be. So I went and I got her new alcohol for her to bring to whoever she was bringing it in the first place. And yeah, she said thank you. She was trying to pay me back, but I was like, no, like I didn't do that for you to pay me back or whatever. And yeah, like I made her day, and it was pretty cool. That was my story.
but that's good though.
No, yeah.
That's good though. I really think we should do. I really think that we should do it more.
Absolutely, I agree. But like, I hold the door a lot of times, and sometimes they don't say thank you. I don't get triggered by it. Like I'm not, you're welcome, because I've seen it a lot of times. People are willing to fight. Like they would ruin a good moment just because a person didn't say thank you. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, I don't say with attitude. I'd be like, you're welcome.
Like, you're welcome. This is ridiculous, and then like their whole day is literally ruined just because
Nah.
this individual didn't say thank you.
It's just like the guy who held open the door and he said what he said. That didn't ruin my day. It just irked me a little bit. It didn't ruin my day.
Swallow.
It didn't ruin my day.
Okay.
You know?
Yeah.
So
Oh, maybe he was just in a bad mood that day. Hopefully he has a better day and has
maybe
a better
I've seen him since.
day.
and since because he's a new face actually. He's a new face. So I've seen him since. And I know he looks at me, but I don't acknowledge him. I don't, you know what I'm saying? That's the other thing too, is I've also learned that I don't need it. I don't need to get into confrontation today over stupidness.
Maybe you'll see him again and you guys laugh about it.
You know what I mean? Especially the way the streets are right now. I'm definitely not getting into confrontation. I got too many kids. I got a baby that I want to see grow up. God willing, I'll be old enough to see my kids and get some grandkids and stuff like that. I'm not losing my life over an argument. You know what I mean? Because dudes don't like to fight. They want to shoot. And they shoot for the most stupidest shit. You know? Wasn't like when I was coming up. And granted, people may say, oh, it was stupid too. Yes, it was stupid. The drug game was stupid. It was whatever. But there was an understanding. It was the OK Corral, and it was due to, all these different situations out in the street, which was kind of crazy, but understandable in its own way.
Mm-hmm.
Now kids are shooting each other just to shoot each other. It's ridiculous. So I'm definitely not losing my life over because I held open a door and the dude wasn't able to, accept it for what it was. You know what I mean?
No, yeah, for sure.
Kind of deal.
Yeah.
But I believe that we should practice more acts of kindness.
Facts. If you want Zay to buy you, whatever you want, just catch him. What store you go to? You guys can catch him. He'll buy your coffee, your cake, your treat, your sandwich, whatever. Holla at Zay. I'm Jay. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you guys next time.
Peace.
Fed thoughts.